Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Collier. I am your host of Conquer with Chris, the podcast you don't want to miss. Today I have a great guest. I have Tammy Richie on. Tammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Chris. It's my pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all mine, I assure you. Tammy, tell the people where you're from, a little bit about you.
Okay, so a little bit. I'm from the Gold Coast in Australia, and I absolutely love helping people overcome their fears. I'm a bit like Dorothy on the Yellow Brick Road, seeing unlimited possibilities absolutely everywhere. I love bringing people with me, holding their hand, and creating success together.
Wow. Well, let's get right into it. Let's get into your story. You weren't that way all the time, and even if you were, you didn't really think about helping other people right away. Probably you thought about something. So how'd you get to this place where, every corner is an opportunity, every person you want to help? I had a guy tell me one time that he is a reverse, oh gosh, I just forgot the word, schizophrenic. Everyone's out to help him. So I take it you're that kind of person too. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay, sure. Look, Chris, I'm actually kind of tearing up a little bit as we speak right now because, I'm evolving. We're all evolving. Each one of us have got a purpose, and we can go through our whole life being unfulfilled and not sure of what that is. The thing is, sometimes when things happen, they happen for, not to us. I'm also a Tony Robbins leader. I've been immersed in personal development around the world with some of the world's best leaders. I'm an advocate for that type of work, for getting out of your head into your heart. And why I'm such an advocate, because I so relate to those people, not that they are any better than any one of us, but I relate to them because I've been through the same journey. So it kind of started when I was born, day one, actually, because you think back and you think, well, day one, you're meant to be with your mum, you're welcome to the world, blah, blah, blah. I learned the first lot of strength and resilience from day one when I was born into this world with an identical twin that actually passed away at birth, and then I was adopted out. But I wasn't adopted out for, maybe months and months later. So by the time I was adopted, I was actually off to the orphanage. So when a child is born, they have the love and nurture of their mum, from day one. They know their mum, even when they're inside, because they know the smells, the sounds and all those kinds of things. When I was born, I was literally left in a hospital. The nurses were so busy that they couldn't do a lot with me. So I had to learn that from day one. And that came throughout my whole life as the biggest thing that I've had to learn is the strength and resilience that I've been able to utilize over those times throughout my whole journey. You see, when I was adopted into a home where my mum didn't know how to love. Well, perhaps she did, but she could only love so much. And so I suffered emotional and physical abuse from my adopted mum. Again, another key, it was a lesson that I learned. And see, when we go through life and we, face these challenges, if we can look at the beauty and see what was the lesson that we were meant to learn here and send the energy to the outcome that we desire, we can achieve absolutely anything. And that's basically what I've been able to do as I've gone through my life, and my life has evolved and obstacles have come, because those of us that are successful aren't exempt from obstacles. In fact, those of us that are successful because of the obstacles, because we haven't given in, because we haven't become a victim, but we've risen up and seen the strength and seen the beauty in that moment, and actually set the energy to the outcome that we desire, because it went on from that. From that moment, I was fortunate. I did 17 years as an aircraft maintenance engineer in the Royal Australian Air Force, and I was so proud. But do you know what? During that time, I had my last child. I've got 3 children. I'm a wife. My children are all grown up now. But at the time, my child, who's now 15, was just a baby at 16 months. And so I took some time out, which was the key I needed, because prior to that, as an engineer, I was in my head. I was busy working for someone else. Absolutely did some amazing experiences that most people don't get to do. But I didn't want to go back after my 3rd child, because I knew that's it. I was just going to continue on that journey that no longer fulfilled me because I'd made it to the top. you ever been in life where you feel that, you know, life is getting boring and you're not sure what to do? And, you know, like life is meant to be happy moments and memories. But when you're at that stage and you're just going through the paces, and trust me, I'm an energy person, I feel people's energy absolutely everywhere. And I was going through that myself. I knew I needed changes, but I didn't know what I was meant to do because I'd done all the studies. Done a degree and everything. And this is what I was meant to do. This was my calling in my life, but I couldn't see myself. And I looked at the retirement age and I thought, oh my goodness, they kept on putting it up here in Australia as well. And I thought, could I continue to do that where it no longer fulfilled me, working much longer hours than anyone else? Working harder because I was a female in a male-dominated environment. Let me tell you, I was probably only one of the minority of females at that time. There are a lot more people right now, but back then there was not many of us. So I didn't know what my soul was stirred, and I'm hoping that through this information that I'm sharing and my journey that I'm sharing with your viewers, that I'm hoping that I'm going to stir other people's souls to show them what's possible as well. Because let me tell you, there's infinite possibilities absolutely everywhere. So with that in my mind, I had the time off, as I mentioned. I was no longer busy because when I was an engineer, I was busy working. I was also studying full-time, doing a teaching degree and trying to raise 2 kids. And I was also unwell at the time as well. So having the time off allowed me to have the space. Space is where the magic is created. It allowed me to breathe, get out of my head. It allowed me to put my feet on Mother Nature. Now, no matter where you live, like I'm fortunate to live on the beautiful Gold Coast here in Australia with the world's best beaches. So I can go take my shoes off, put them in the sand, get in the water and immerse in that and feel Mother Nature all around me. I also live close to waterfalls but you know, no matter where you live, take your shoes off, feel the energy, ground yourself and allow the energy to flow through you. And that's what I actually had done. Now, during that time, and I was getting ready to go back to the engineering, I was questioning, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What actually happened is I manifested a massive tragedy. You see, in life, where you are is a result of all the choices that you've ever made in your life, because you're creating your life. You're painting the canvas or you're writing your life out. So we all need to take responsibility. So no matter where you are in your life, you've got to own it. So I owned it. I was creating the life. And then all of a sudden, we were blessed to move to the Gold Coast. I was unpacking boxes in our new home. And my little boy, who was just my baby, my flesh and blood, my love of my life, the little guy that we chose to be in our family, all of a sudden I had him plonked down by my side. And all of a sudden I got this massive feeling in my heart that I couldn't dismiss. You see, if we get busy in our lives, our head will try to dismiss it. So my head was trying to tell me, oh, you know what, he's probably playing with his toys, which he quite possibly could have been. Or he could have been painting the walls with my makeup, whatever he was doing as a 16-month-old, okay? But my heart would not allow me to dismiss that feeling. It pushed me, which was the intuition. We all have this intuition, but we go through life, we get so busy and we forget to breathe, we forget to do the things. But let me tell you, when you do the meditation, when you do the breathing, when you create the space, it allows us to tune into this thing. This thing, our heart, is 16 times more powerful than our brain. Our brain will try to keep us safe and comfortable. Our heart causes us, stirs our soul, causes us to get out of the comfort zone and get out there and live life. Fortunately, that pushing I then could no longer dismiss. As I looked up, the feeling that I had been given, my little boy, was no longer within my sight. I had a feeling of where he was going, where he was, but I didn't want to believe it. My head again was trying to justify, trying to keep me safe. But instead, I had to overcome that little voice and smash it out of the ballpark with my bat. And it caused me to go room to room, box to box to try and find him. I couldn't find him. I knew where I was meant to go. I didn't want to believe it. Everything inside me was trying to not allow this to happen. However, as I took my steps closer to my pool, my life had changed forever. When my little boy just 16 months of age, fully clothed, nappy on, shoes on, the whole bit, was floating and unconscious in my backyard pool on my watch. I just want you to just think about that for a moment, because we all have loved ones in our lives. We all have someone that lights us up. What if that's suddenly taken away? I had to race into the pool, and I grabbed him out of the pool, and he's lifeless in my arm, and I became a crazy woman and screaming out and tried to send my power to other people. I was trying to give my power out to the neighbours, just anyone to come and help me, and no one came. No one was home. I raced inside to call emergency service on my home phone. We were that new into the home, it wasn't even connected. That everything that was meant to help me had failed me. My head was saying to me, oh, you silly person, how are you going to call your husband now? How are you going to tell your other children? The little guy that we created was no longer with us. So what happened then was a miracle. And I'm no hero. I'm not unique. This can happen to anyone. In fact, 20 seconds can change your life forever. And it does. So again, I had to smash that voice out of the ballpark, close my eyes for a second and breathe deeply into my heart. It was a divine intervention. Nothing could stop me doing that. And the moment I did that, I got over myself. I realized this was no longer about me and everything about my little guy. It caused me to get out of the craziness of trying to be the perfect one. As an engineer, everything had to be perfect, otherwise people's lives were at risk. All of a sudden, I had no choice. I was so confused because back then all the ratios were different between children, infant, and adults with CPR. But I didn't need to think about that. What I needed to do was take the first step. It didn't matter. Any attempt was better than no attempt at all. So with that in my mind, I got over myself. I lay him down on the floor. I started doing CPR. It was not perfect. He did not breathe on the first rotation. I persisted because I'm never going to give up. Because how could I call my husband? How could I call my children? How could I live with myself if I didn't pull myself together? That's what I did. On the second rotation, he started breathing. Can you believe that? That moment changed my life forever. Then I was able to call emergency services. By the time paramedics arrived, they always expect the worst. They were prepared for the worst. When they entered and they saw him crying, they stood there and they cried with me. I knew this was a gift. I knew that I couldn't allow it to happen for me. I knew it happened to me. I knew it happened for me, not to me. I questioned and I asked. I didn't want to go back to my engineering. I knew now that I had a message to deliver to the world. I didn't know how to do it. Did I need to know? The paramedics immersed me into the media. My face, my name became common knowledge here in Australia. I couldn't walk anywhere without someone saying, aren't you the mum? I had a responsibility to share what I learned that day. And I've already shared some of the tips and tools I've already learned during that time. I had a responsibility because every single parent needed to know, because life is so precious. We just assume everything's going to be okay. What if something does happen? We never plan for it, but it can happen at any moment. So with that, I created a training academy, and that became highly sought after and internationally award-winning first aid you can too training, delivering nationally recognized certified training, but with a twist. It's not just reading it from the book. It is absolutely using accelerated learning techniques, sharing all the tips I learned that day so it becomes a much better program and people can walk away and not have that feeling that I had, that I was confused and didn't know what to do. It's empowering people to know they can get over themselves and they can actually have the same luxury of being able to help their children or their loved ones as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
But
I got to jump in here saying, because I see it not only as a real life situation, but it's also analogous to people's life and their dream. Everyone's been given a dream to live out. And I heard it said, I can't remember who said it, but it said that the graveyard is the richest place in the world for all the dead dreams and destinies not obtained. And your little guy that you were able to save is everyone's dream. And too often we let our dreams go wandering in to our pool, into our next door neighbor, into our family. They mean well, but they only have the insight they have, and they kill our dream. They kill our child. They kill whatever it is, our gifting, our talent, whatever you want to call it. People kill that all the time. And so let's speak to those people, because I think you can do a great job at that. Let's speak to those people.
Absolutely, because that's because sometimes you have to be conscious and cautious of who you surround yourself with, because who you surround yourself with, you become. Do you know what? We have a thing in Australia, it's called tall poppy syndrome. Let me tell you, it has gone on so much from the first time 14 years ago when I created that training academy. Since then, I've gone on to create multiple businesses that I run effortlessly with grace and ease. And I would never have been able to do that had I not have learnt these tools. Because the thing is, there's always going to be naysayers in your life that are trying to drag you down, that are trying to keep you safe because of their own stuff. Do you know, just look at it. It's a mirror. So those people that are trying to drag us down and say you're not good enough, no one will listen to you, blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much. Thank you to those people, because that's a mirror and it's actually their fears being reflected back. We need to realize it's their fears. And so there's a process that we need to do every single day to do our rituals, to keep ourselves strong, to protect ourselves, so that our dreams, we don't give up, because our dreams are absolutely possible. All of my businesses, crazy as it seems, like I launched an incredible online marketplace called Zenarah, ZENARAH.com, and I'm going to give your viewers some gifts from that really soon. But I launched that because I also had to overcome my own health during this period as well, my children's health. I'm still on a journey of that. You know, the life-saving. So Zenarah is an online marketplace for natural, healthy, life-saving and lifestyle products. Everything that lights me up, because it is so powerful. We need to have access to all these things and have them delivered to their homes. Now, when I knew I needed to create that, Chris, I had no idea how I was going to create it, because all of a sudden I became a speaker, and I would be speaking all around the world before COVID happened, on the stages, sharing the stories, sharing lessons. There's so many lessons, because we all have the lessons, but sometimes we forget or we try to ignore it. But once we tune in and we go, oh my God, this is Dorothy on the yellow brick road with a ruby red shoes, bringing people with me because I need to share. I need to wake people up. I need to stir their souls. I need to get them to realize that where they are, it's okay. And it's okay to dream. Because this vision that I created it and I saw it as done for 2 years, because as a speaker, I'd be sharing how I've overcome my health. I have I manifested Gumby. I've got healing properties, healing trees on my property that I manifested. It's a 2.5 acre healing property. I had no idea what they were, and now all of a sudden I'm doing collaborations with the Aboriginals. None of this would have happened so that we can create products to help people with their health had I not have believed and seen the infinite possibilities. I knew that I needed to have all of these products that we'd created, as well as a lot of my entrepreneurial friends, because it's magical. They create solutions for today's problems, but they have no idea how to get it out there to the world. And nor did I. So when I was speaking on these platforms, and I felt like a used car salesman with, oh, I've got these products here, I've got these products here, go to this place, go to that place. I knew I needed to have it in one location. And I knew that it needed to be delivered to people's homes. I had no idea how it was going to happen. I had no idea at that time that COVID would happen either. And nor did I need to know. I saw it as done every single day. So this is where the magic comes in, because my life is magical, and everyone's life is magical if you stop to do these tips that I'll share in a little bit to be able to see your magic within you. So what actually happened is I saw it as done. I had no idea. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful man who I've done a lot of personal development with around the world, he's like a brother to me. And T. Harbecker is one of our coaches. And we've done a lot of programs together through him. So this beautiful man had a platform that he created, which was a physical speaking platform in the countries. He lives in Sydney, Australia, but he's from India. So he has a lot of influence in India, Singapore, and Malaysia. So he was actually putting his program together, and he was getting speakers like myself to come in and deliver the magic. So he said to me, because I have overcome 2 autoimmune diseases holistically by getting out of my head into my heart, it's just all the same way, right? So he just said to me, no one is better than health than you. I need you to be speaking on my platform on health to stir people's souls, to show them what's possible. At that time, I said to him, because he flew from Sydney to the Gold Coast to ask me to do this. I was so excited. I said to him, sure, I'll do that for you. However, this vision that I had created that hadn't manifested yet, I asked him, can I actually share this to the people, to the audience? He said, absolutely, of course you can. And it still was in a dream. It still hadn't been created at that point. Okay, and this is just, remember, Chris, this is just before COVID. So he said, of course. And then he said to me, how far into it are you? And I said, well, I visualized it, and not just visualize 3D. I'm talking visualize, see, hear, and feel as though it's done. See the people there that are just so thankful and grateful for having access to this wonderful product. See the incredible entrepreneurs that have created their solutions for today's problems out there, getting their products, allowing them to continue to create their magic and have their products available to people around the world. I saw the millions as customers, and I didn't know how it was done. So when he came in, and I knew that he did something with IT, I had no idea what his expertise actually was, but we were just connected through brother-sister relationship. Then all of a sudden he was giving me the feedback that I needed to actually launch the platform. And I went, hang on a minute, I think I've manifested you. You're my missing piece to the puzzle. Because when we actually start visualizing and seeing, synchronicities do happen. It's the magic. But if you're in your head, you're not going to see it. But you work on yourself and do your rituals every single day. You actually see, hear, and feel what you need to. So when he was giving me this feedback, I was like shaking, I was crying. I said, oh my goodness. I think because he's an IT specialist and online marketing person, he's the perfect person that I needed. And I said, I think it's you. And I said, would you partner with me? He said, I wouldn't partner with absolutely anyone else, but with you, absolutely. So with that in mind, we partnered. We launched in May last year. Just before, or just maybe it was just before or just after, T. Harbecker gave us a coach call. And this is when COVID was at its brink, right? So he was trying to calm all of us down because we were his clients. It was like trying to get us all to see the beauty, to focus the energy on the outcome, which I'm so good at. I'm the best at overcoming dramas. I'm the expert at it. But I'm the expert at actually teaching people too. So T. Harv actually said, right now we're going through chaos. People are crazy. I mean, the toilet paper situation in Australia was insane. I'm sure it was everywhere around the world.
It doesn't make any sense though, does it? Why toilet paper?
So what he was saying though is give people what they want. They're stuck in their homes. They can't get out. What if they could access and order their things online and have it delivered to their homes around the world? What if all of a sudden health became important to people? There's no one that actually knows how important health is than myself. I've had my own journey, plus I've got 2 daughters. I've got 3 children in total, 1 that I've saved, as you know, 2 daughters that we've been fighting to keep alive for a number of years. We're on that health train. There is nothing more important than health. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the friends in the world. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Okay? So people then all of a sudden realize the importance of health because COVID's happening. People are losing their lives, not just 1 or 2, tons of people. And we need to take ownership of our health. We don't need to give it away to other people. When we give our power away, we're losing ourselves. The body can heal if given the right stuff. And so on this platform, we have the natural, healthy, life-saving and lifestyle stuff, everything that I'm passionate about, delivered to people's homes. And all of a sudden became important to people. And so when T-Harv had said that, and he was coaching us, not just my business partner and I personally, but on a grand scale, and we went, oh my goodness, tick, tick, tick. Because what if we were given the tools? What if we were given the insight before the event? And that's exactly what's happened. Now, none of this would have been possible had I not have been given the tips and tools, or the awakening, you might say, because we all have this available to us. But I got it from day one, and I've just gone on the journey. You know, I knew through my childhood with my mum, my life was miserable. I was abused physically, mentally, but I knew I needed to nail school. I loved going to school. At home, my life was miserable. If I could focus on that and actually achieve what I needed to and get me out of there, my life would begin. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, every single obstacle that's come up, there's no change. There's no difference. Because who you surround yourself with, you become. Who you listen to. What people do, the successful people, what they do in their private time, they don't just get given success. And like you said before, I think you mentioned before, people think they're the success that you just wake up with a gold spoon in your mouth. That is not correct. It's the stuff that we do behind the scenes. But success does leave clues. So if you're wanting to, you know, achieve your best life, live your best life, what if you could surround yourself with people that do believe in you? What if you could just start waking up to your own gifts? What if you could blank out the naysayers and follow? The easiest way to achieve your own success is to follow and follow those people that have done it already. I love sharing with people. In fact, I've got a masterclass that's coming up, and the masterclass is like a 90-day masterclass. It's online, it's on Zoom. You know, we just get together and we unpack. I share so much stuff that I've learned, because it's like The Secret. I'm sure your viewers would be familiar with The Secret. The Secret has been a big part of my life, and often people read The Secret and think, oh, law of attraction, la, 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 money's going to rock in, it's going to do, blah, blah, blah. But what actually happens is you need the action as well. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that are dragging you down, you're less likely to be able to do the action. So you've got to be very, very disciplined with who you surround yourself with. And so the masterclass that I've got is actually that. It's everyone coming together to meet fortnightly on a Zoom, to get homework to do, to come back, to share your wins, to share your intentions, share your challenges, share the wins and celebrate the wins, because that energy begets energy. If you're going to look at the thing that's happened and you say, oh my God, if I look back at my son's drowning and said, I've got, oh my God, this happened to me. People would say to me, are you going to fill in your swimming pool? Are you going to give up your life? And I'm like, are you crazy? Why would I fill in my swimming pool when we live on the beautiful Gold Coast where there's pools absolutely everywhere? I had to pull my big girl pants up the moment we got out of hospital. My husband was amazing. He immersed my son back into the swimming pool. We did not want to allow fear to hold him back. And in our lives, fear is the thing that holds us back. You know, part of the masterclass, we do it all online, but once the world opens up, we'll be doing, you know, as I said, I live on this beautiful healing property. I run retreats, I run workshops here. You know, I get people to overcome their fears. I push them physically, mentally, spiritually, because that's where the truth is. That's where the diamond is. And I am not going to hold back in that, because in life, we've learned, we've been educated from naysayers, from our parents that are holding us back, you know, from what their impression of money is. We have to work hard, blah, 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 whatever. I'm running multiple businesses effortlessly with grace and ease. How do I do that? Because I believe in myself and I teach people the lessons and I immerse in it myself.
Wow. What a story, Tammy. What a story. How can people find you?
Perfect. So I've got a number of businesses, but the easiest way to find me is with my first business. It's First Aid, and then YUCAN2.com. That's First Aid YUCAN2.com, because I help people. I'd saved a life and you can too. So if they go to that page, they can send a contact email to that, and they can ask me anything about what we've spoken about today.
And just so you know, the link will be in the description and will be popping up on screen for our viewers. And if you're listening, it'll be in the show notes. Perfect. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And you can, so that's the easiest way to find me, but you can too is another business of mine, .com.au, and that's how I just help people discover their why by deciding they can, because it's all in the decision, so that they can live a life that they deserve. And so that came to me, that business name came to me before my son's incident. We actually had the car number plate, and then it just made sense that, oh my God, that is it, because I'd already discovered it. I've already picked it up. But I want to share with your viewers today as well. I mentioned to you about the online marketplace Zanara that we created, and we're about to launch another one that I spoke to you about, Successful, which is about to launch, and that's going to be very, very exciting, allowing people to have access all around the world from wonderful people that have created programs to really help people, like share their knowledge and stuff. So watch out for that real soon. But for now, I've got Zanara, which is www.zenarah.com. I'm sure that you can put it up on the screen as well. Now, with your viewers, I love the secret to me of living is giving. There's nothing more, contribution is a big part of my world. So I'm always volunteering here, there, everywhere, speaking here, there, and everywhere, sharing my knowledges. But with Zanara, it'll be an absolute pleasure. There's no cost to join. You can just join the newsletter, and it'll be our absolute pleasure to give all your viewers 10% off at the shopping cart. So remember, it's all products that you can actually have a look, and these are from entrepreneurs that have created solutions for today's problems. So they're absolutely amazing. Okay, but you can go on there and at the shopping cart, it'll ask for a coupon. If you type in the word Zanara with your first shop, you can get 10% off. Now, further from that as well is if there are people out there that want to have, we've also got $100 vouchers to be able to use on our shops as well. So all they need to do to access that is just to contact me through the Zanara contact page and say, hey, how do we access the $100 gift card? And it would be our absolute pleasure to get that to them and to share the love. Chris, if you know of anyone out there that loves shopping that way as a customer, they earn points, and those points go towards their next shop, just a bit like a frequent flyer thing. But if you're an influential person out there and you know people that have created products for today's problems, we're a bit like Shopify or Amazon, except we do marketing as well. So Shopify and Amazon, you can pay in different countries to have your stuff showcased, but you've got to manage your shops and you've got to pay a different fee for every country. Zanara is global. So you decide you want to go the whole world, that's great. Or if you want to stick to one country, that's great also, but it's just the one fee. And the difference is we do the marketing for you, because we don't make money unless you make money, unless we help you. That's our commitment to you, and that's how it all kind of works. So if there's people in your audience that have products that they've created, or they know people that have products they've created in the categories of healthy, natural, life-saving, or lifestyle, get in contact with us through the contact page on Zanara, because it'd be worth a conversation, locking in a chat with us to become a partner. As a partner, for introducing us to people that have got these incredible products, you're helping us out immensely. So we will reward you. And remember, it's just one introduction, as long as they've actually become a member of Zanara, and what's the lifetime while they're on the business. Okay, because there is membership fees, but not very much. But what the lifetime that they're on the business, it will be our absolute pleasure to pay you 5% from every single sale.
Wow. Wow. That's great stuff. Oh, yes. Man. Wow. Was that it? Were you done?
Just one other thing is that because with COVID, as we know, we you know, we've had to overcome our health. It's kind of put us into different situations where we've had to be at home, which has been great because you can boost on your community and what's important to you as well. But also a lot of people have lost their jobs. So we've put this together as a partner so that we can help entrepreneurs get out there, but also those that actually are influential and know people. It gives them a chance to earn money while they're at home, because it's only once they have one shop on there, it's just ongoing. It's passive income. And if you can have passive income, that's amazing. So there's one other way that they can benefit through becoming an affiliate, and that's also on the website as well. And an affiliate is where you get a code and you share that to your network, to your friends, family, or whatever. Anytime someone purchases something from Zanara and uses your code, you also get 5%. But the difference between becoming a partner and an affiliate is an affiliate, you need to actually continue to share your link. Whereas as a partner, it's one-off. So if you know people with products in those industries, in those fields, that, you know, that's how we can reward you, because we are so grateful. It's a bit of a collaboration, and then we're all about collaborating, and that's what we've learned during COVID, coming together. We don't need to do everything ourselves. We need to do what we are good at.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my absolute pleasure to have Tammy Richie on. Thank you for being on today. And I want to thank each of you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It was my absolute pleasure for joining today. I really hope that you felt benefit in it, not only yourself, Chris, but also your audience as well. And yeah, with all my heart, I'm so grateful.
I want to thank the audience for listening. Whether you are listening or viewing, depending on what platform you're on, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a great day.